All right, so there was what many people call the Mecca of pro wrestling or sports entertainment, if you will, that had occurred this past weekend, and that was WrestleMania. WrestleMania. So there's always a lot of wrestling news around WrestleMania, not just in WWE. So I'm going to get through that, and then I'm going to break down Mania. Also for this segment, we have a special guest, the anti-something or other, Rudy.
The antagonist.
The antagonist, thank you.
You're the anti.
Damn, we're all tired today. He said the anti.
Because I've called him by like 3 different anti names, and I can't remember any of them at this moment. So yeah, Rudy,
the Antichrist at some point.
Antichrist, yeah, that was the latest one, I think.
He's antimicrobial now.
Out here looking like thick Mr. Clean. Let's go.
What?
Look at that sexy.
I'll take it.
He could clean this
Look
shaft
at that
any day.
beard.
Okay, no, never mind. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Wait, you said he could clean what?
This shaft any day.
I don't want it.
This is the life we live. We chose to live this way. All right, so break it down real quick. Last time, since we recorded on a Wednesday, I didn't get to see AEW that night. I did talk about Toni Storm recently, about how she did the whole... She went to OnlyFans after WWE, made a ton of money in like one day. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, is she going to stay with wrestling? What's she going to do? She's continuing to do OnlyFans, and she's also an employee at AEW. Okay, so cool, she's just kicking ass all over.
Oh, nice.
At least they're not like WWE telling them they can't do stuff on YouTube and other things.
Yeah. Well, WWE changed their ways. They're like, you could do it. We just got to get that money. So
they want their slice.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
But anyway, so she debuted. She was the first person to advance in the Owen Hart tournament that they have going on. Like it's in honor of Owen. They have a female and a male one. And on the men's side of news, there was a Ring of Honor Supercard that happened also during WrestleMania week. A bunch of amazing matches. One of the best tag team matches I've ever seen, FTR versus the Briscoes. And at the end, we had Bandito versus Jonathan Gresham for the Ring of Honor World title. What's it called? Jonathan Gresham wins. Jay Lethal from Elizabeth, New Jersey comes out, attacks him. And Samoa Joe appears. And everyone's losing their shit because, oh my God, Joe is allowed to wrestle somewhere that's not WWE. And with that announcement came that he also was in AEW, and yesterday he appeared on AEW television for the first time. So Samoa Joe is also in AEW.
From WWE, right?
Twice.
One of the rounds?
Yeah. He got fired. Triple H is like, no, this man's amazing. I'm going to bring him back. Then Triple H had a heart condition, and then they fired him again. It's like, nobody can save you now.
I wonder if
I was
it's
say,
the
why
same heart
can't...
condition as Goku.
What's up, Rudy?
No, I was wondering. You said he can't work anywhere else. What's the story behind it?
No, I'm just saying because once you're in WWE, you're only in WWE. When you're in AEW, you could appear anywhere you want as long as, AEW is your priority.
Did you say same condition as Goku?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Dan was just like, I'm not dealing with this all.
Yeah, no, I had to jump. I do that a lot. I hear you guys say jokes, I just run right past it.
Triple H is not gonna die.
But so yeah, that's the wrestling news, non-WrestleMania edition, and now the WrestleMania edition. So first thing, Eslam, Danny, I'm assuming you know nothing about what happened on WrestleMania, correct?
Stone Cold, I don't know.
Okay.
I saw a clip of Stone Cold. There was some guy knocked out trying to drink a beer.
Okay.
And then Stone Cold took some beers and left.
There's more, but yeah, that that did occur.
No, it was just like a small GIF.
Yeah, I know. It's also GIF, but anyway, in the in WrestleMania, a lot of the headlines that I saw coming out of it was Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon and Johnny Knoxville and Logan Paul and Ronda Rousey and all these non-WWE wrestlers, and it's very upsetting to me. When you have people like Finn Balor, who is the United States champion or Intercontinental champion, I can't even tell you which one. That's how much they made me forget. He's one of them, and he wasn't on WrestleMania. The other one being Ricochet, either the U.S. or Intercontinental champion, one or the other, can't remember. He wasn't there. The New Day, one of the greatest. He's Intercontinental?
Intercontinental, yeah, he's
Intercontinental. So then Finn Balor's U.S. You had the New Day, who I've talked about countless times, one of the best tag teams, to me, the best tag team in WWE ever. How long was their match during WrestleMania, Rudy?
2 minutes.
Like 5 minutes. Like 2 to 5 minutes, nothing more.
Nothing happened.
It was so sad. I looked down, I looked up, it was over.
Yeah. And for many people, WrestleMania was a huge success. A huge success. Well, no, that's the thing. If you were invested in WWE and the wrestlers of today and watching the storylines and what's going on, then this wasn't for you. This was for everybody else. So, Rudy, how did you feel about WrestleMania?
Well, I think I saw something on Twitter that said like this was the most viewed WrestleMania of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the billions or something like that, as far as how many people or how many views it actually had. It was a mixed bag for me. You know, I got to say like. There were matches I was looking forward to, like the New Day, because you know it's the New Day, and then the match happened and it was just over. And it kind of sucks because there's so much opportunity there, especially because Big E got injured, where you can kind of go in and build a storyline related to it, right? Or even do it for him.
Yeah.
You know, and the fans would have been all over that. So It was just interesting to see that. Like I don't understand why Ronda Rousey has anything to do with wrestling. I just don't like her. Her makeup artist is horrible. The eyes look crazy. Everybody kept saying like, "Oh, she looks great for a woman who just gave birth." I don't care. I just want to see wrestling. I don't know if that's good for your female viewers. I'm sorry, but come on now.
We have no female viewers.
Oh, well, never mind.
Just our girlfriends and your fiance who probably listen because we make them.
If anybody's listening to this and you know a female, tell them to listen to the podcast. You see the females out there, just tell them.
Dude, literally from the analytics that I've seen, it's like 100% male. Not even like 99.
No, I'm sure of it.
It's 100%.
I'm sure of it.
Just a bunch of dicks.
Yep.
Send
us those pics, guys. Send Rudy those pics.
No.
I'm gonna put out his Instagram once I can send him
Yeah,
dick
we'll
pics.
send out some dick ratings. So
Wheel? Oh.
I'm not affiliated with any of that.
Go at LWG_Dan Rosado, send him some dick pics.
Other than that,
I'm gonna laugh if that part really blows up and then you just get hella dicks in your.
I'm really hoping. I just send him to Dan. He wants them.
Wait, let me look for Rudy's social media tag.
God damn it, Rudy! What do you got to say? They're gonna keep going.
I'm trying.
You got to just power through. This is what I do when I give wrestling news. I ignore them and power through. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I found it interesting that wrestling, like, this is the first time I saw WrestleMania on 2 days, right? Yeah. I come from a time period where it was on one day. You wait for that day, and then in reality, it was almost, for me and back from when I remember it, it was like you waited for WrestleMania and then you waited for the Raw next day after.
The Raw after Mania.
Like, if you want to talk about 2 days coinciding, it would be those 2 days. So to find out, I had to devote a whole weekend related to Raw. I mean, to WrestleMania was like, it was just a lot. And honestly, the matches I was looking forward to were like, you know, I guess it's a bad look because the only match I was really, really looking forward to was Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory.
Pat McAfee,
and
former
honestly,
kicker or punter or whatever the hell he was in the NFL.
Former punter of the Indianapolis Colts.
Which is great, which is great if you're a football fan, but as a wrestling fan, you want to see some wrestling. And I'm not taking anything away from Pat. Pat had an amazing match. He did better the last time. The last 2 times, this was his worst match ever. But nobody watches NXT, so they think it was good.
That's true. I mean, he did a backflip. He was very athletic for himself, I'll tell you that much. Like, he did a backflip off the top rope, jumped back on the top rope. I know you said you could do better than him, so I mean, it shows you're tremendous. I mean, giving you a lot of talent there for being able to do what you could do. But it was kind of leading that match. I really didn't care about. It was what happened after the fact with him and Vince, and then Stone Cold coming out. And it as a fan who's not really a fan like you, it was a great moment for me. Yeah. It brought me back.
It was 1999 all over again.
Yeah. It brought me back to being a kid and everything related to it. I loved seeing how happy and enjoyable Stone Cold was having such a great time. You know, usually he just tries to hit this angry persona, but he was fucking people up and just drinking beers and having the time of his life. So I felt good for him. But yeah, it was for me. It was something I'm going to remember for a very long time because of that.
Yeah, no, I remember as I was watching it with you, I even said at one point, because like the Stone Cold, just to get into it real quick, this was night 2 of WrestleMania. There was Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory, and that was like the big thing. And Pat came out like a freaking rock star. They were playing the what's the song? the White Stripe Seven Nation Army, that was like his theme coming out. The whole arena's freaking chanting. He had Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. It was like they gave him like the biggest spotlight. It was like, oh, it was cool. And even though Pat is like a football guy, like he does do commentary now on SmackDown. He was a lifelong wrestling fan. He is a wrestling fan, so that part of it is cool. You get to see a wrestling fan get to live out his dream. That's awesome. But he goes out there, has a decent match with Austin Theory. Austin Theory made him look good. And then after that happens, Vince McMahon, who's like, Austin Theory's like his new chosen one. He was there ringside, and he's like, you know what, this is bullshit, blah blah blah. Then, like I talked about on the podcast, that there was a rumor that McMahon was going to have a match. It ended up happening. It was a impromptu, a surprise like match, like right there between Pat and Vince. They go back and forth, and of course Vince McMahon wins, even though he's like 100. But that happens. And he and Austin Theory are beating up Pat. Then Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out, and he just starts hitting everybody left and right with stunners. He hits Austin Theory. He takes a great stunner. He hits Vince, and Vince has always been known for taking the Stone Cold Stunner worse than anyone. This one was the worst ever. Nobody has ever taken a stunner worse than this.
I saw a video of McFoley's son
laughing,
recording his reaction to that stunner.
Yeah.
And he was like turning red laughing.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah.
I wanted to see the stunner, but like they didn't show it.
I mean, what happened was you know how you kick and then grab the head and pull down? He kicked him and Vince went down. So then Vince tries to catch himself, and then he's trying to stand up, completely loses balance, hits the ropes, bounces off the ropes. Stone Cold's laughing his ass off. He grabs his head, and instead of like going down and then bouncing back, he crumbled. Like his legs just stopped, and then he just laid there with his eyes open, not breathing. I even said to Rudy, "It's like somebody needs to check on Vince."
Bro,
it was
I think
horrible.
Vince had a stroke.
that will go
I
down
thought he
as
broke his
the
quads
worst
again,
stunner.
or tore his quads.
Broke his
Broke
quads.
his
They might have been broken instead of torn. They might have been actual broken.
Only Vince can break his quads.
But there was that. Then I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rudy.
No, I'm saying that'll go down as I think the worst stunner
in
history.
It really is.
And then the funny thing is he loses a shoe somewhere throughout that entire.
That's
process,
right. Vince McMahon lost a shoe at some point, and Stone Cold chucked it, just like. But then he does the whole celebration with Pat, and he's like, "Hey, let's drink some beers." Then he stunners Pat. Pat takes it. He actually took the stunner pretty good. Later on, they're doing the thing. Stone Cold's drinking beer, whatever. They cut back to Pat. This man's laying on the floor, just pouring beer into his mouth while he's like supposedly knocked out.
Yeah.
And it was a cool moment. But I remember saying to Rudy, I was like, "This is awesome. Let's move on." Like, because like this was cool, but like I lived this already. Like, this is great for people who want to reminisce. But what's there for me? Like, it's just like I watched the modern day product. But I don't know, man. So there was that. Another big high profile one was Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. And how'd you feel about that, Rudy? You definitely, I'm sure you liked it more than me.
I had a lot. It was confusing at times with all the extra people. They had Wee Man come out, and who's the guy that gets naked?
Chris Pontius. He was out there in a little like banana hammock.
Speedo. Like he was in there. He was in the Speedo. Came out, started smacking his ass all over the place. It was the most awkward thing. So they got Sami Zayn just pretty much getting his ass tortured by Wee Man and the man that smacks his ass and Johnny Knoxville, and then they bring out like a table with mouse traps. They got a big ass hand that smacks Sammy, and then they
all over the internet. Everybody was saying that was the hand of Mark Henry and Mae Young that grew up and finally became a wrestler.
Yeah. And what did he say? Mark Henry, I saw the tweet. Mark Henry was like, "I only make legends" or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I only create legends or some shit like that. But yeah, there was that. There was a taser.
There was a taser. Ends up, and then he like pressed a button and like the firework went off in the corner while Sammy's trying to get off. It was just so many shenanigans that were related to it, and then it ended up finishing with a mousetrap that didn't work. Actually, no.
It sort of worked.
Did the mousetrap not work, or did the kick not work?
I don't know. The whole match didn't work for me.
They had a fake leg. They had a fake leg that was supposed to kick Sami Zayn in the balls.
Yeah, it was a weird leg thing, like contraption that you had to like pull a lever for the leg to go up to kick Sami in the balls. I'm like, this is a wrestling match. Like Sami Zayn re-signed with WWE. Like his contract was up this year. And the thing is, like, as much as I hate it, this was a good call on him. Like he was in a high-profile match. He was being promoted like on different TV things more than other people. Like he got notoriety because of this. I was just like, that's upsetting because he could have gone somewhere else and had notoriety for wrestling, but it wouldn't have been as big because this is WWE. You could look like an idiot, but it gets you big.
See, they have like such a gap, right? Like I actually like Sami Zayn from what I remember. Like I only saw very few things of NXT, but to see Sami in NXT was like, wow, this guy's like so much talent.
Phenomenal wrestler.
The crowd loves him. He was awesome, and now he looks like a homeless leprechaun.
Yeah.
Damn.
There was that. Kevin Owens had a match against Stone Cold. Another thing that I talked about in the podcast, they were supposed to be a match, and then they said there wasn't. Once again, there was another surprise match. It ended up being the main event of night one. It was Austin versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens made Austin look like he was 20 years younger. Austin looked amazing in this match. Owens he did the job. He made Austin look great. Austin was drinking beer, doing his thing. He did get hit with a stunner first. I was happy about that. I was very happy that Kevin Owens hit the stunner first on Stone Cold Steve Austin. But there was that. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte. That was there. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair was the best match of WrestleMania. No surprise there. Two amazing women's wrestlers. I don't know, man. Oh, yeah, in the main event. I forgot the main event. Roman Reigns won in a very forgettable match.
Did everybody freeze for a second?
No, it's just that that is my feeling. That is my feeling
I was like,
at the end of WrestleMania. When I saw it all, I was like, okay.
That was the audience while they were wrestling.
No, that's the problem. That's the problem. No, the audience loved it because the audience consisted of people who were just either one, they're there to reminisce, two, they're drunk, or three, they're happy they finally get to go home after their second 8-hour show in 2 days. So, it is what it is.
8-hour show?
No, I'm exaggerating. It started it started at 4, finished at 12. 8 hours.
Shift at work.
So 16 hours over the weekend.
So what are they doing for all 8 hours?
Damn, y'all clocked in this weekend for that WrestleMania.
Yo, when I went to WrestleMania 35, I was there for 12, and that was just the show.
That's them being there though. Like being on television, it was probably from like 8 to 12. But even then, that shit was long. Like.
Well, I mean, the wrestling, the pre-show.
Yeah,
the wrestlers are there during the pre-show. Like, they're doing stuff
Yeah.
for the pre-show, too. They're just not wrestling.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, like, to commit from on your couch, it's more like 8 to 12, which, yet again, 8 to 12 on Saturday and then 8 to 12 on Sunday, and then you got to go to work on Monday. Like, it's a long weekend. Like,
I was there for all
day.
16 hours, Rudy. I clocked in the same time as the wrestlers. Just saying.
Happy for you.
I'm not happy. I'm upset I did that.
He's like Mamba mentality. He's like, I was there before the wrestlers.
But another thing that happened, the big one, Cody Rhodes debuted with his original theme song. Well, not original, but the one that he owns the rights to. He showed up at WrestleMania. He officially re-debuted at WWE. Had a really good match with Seth Rollins. It started off a little bit slow. I remember Rudy was saying that. And they ended up having a banger of a match by the end of it. And it was cool. Cody there. I still have mixed feelings on the fact of him being in WWE. He seems to be happy. I hope they push him like a superstar. The Monday night after Mania, it looks like they gave him a big spotlight to speak. He talked a lot about his father, how his father never won the WWE championship, so he wants to be able to do it for his father.
He's never won one either?
Not in WWE. He's a Rhodes. Vince McMahon hates the Rhodes. Okay. So... but and then again, I'm talking at my ass probably, but so Cody's gonna do that. Another big thing that happened: Triple H officially, quote unquote, retired. He put his boots down in the middle of the ring at the beginning of night 2 of WrestleMania. It's an old school thing. You're signifying you're officially done with your in-ring wrestling stuff. So he kicked off night 2. Also that weekend was the Undertakers going into the Hall of Fame. Undertaker, Rick Steiner, Shad Gaspard, Queen Sharmell, and did I say the Steiner brothers?
No. You said Rick Steiner, but
I meant to, yeah, both Steiners. I think that's all of them. I might have missed someone. I'm sorry if I did. But the big one being Undertaker. Man spoke for how long, Rudy? Like,
it was awesome. You kind of got lost in his words, but he spoke for like a good hour. Probably.
It was amazing.
Minutes.
It was amazing.
For an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 45. You got to give that man his props, but it was awesome. Like, it was really, really, like, I enjoyed that. I probably enjoyed that more than anything at WrestleMania.
Oh, it was better than all of Mania. Him talking.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of, it was, the one thing I'll say this, right? I'm not a fan anymore, but the one thing that sucks is, like, watching him go to the Hall of Fame was awesome, But every time he showed up, because they announced him and the other Hall of Famers on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, maybe.
In my opinion, it kind of overshadowed kind of some of the stuff because everybody was like, every time that happened, I was so focused on it, and then they were gone in like 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what sucks the most is being a person who would love to have that feeling to get back into wrestling. This wasn't, as much as WrestleMania is, this wasn't an event that would make me do it. I was more into it as a fan for the shenanigans that that were done as a result of like Johnny Knoxville or Pat McAfee or even who's that blonde guy from YouTube?
Oh yeah, Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Like
he and the Miz beat both Rey and his son, Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio.
Yeah.
Logan Paul has a win over Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania.
That's wild.
That's
Jinx.
It's just.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do you think McMahon fired all those people because half his list is just guest stars?
No, I mean it's funny because I'm talking shit about celebrities being there since before WrestleMania. That's what made WWE famous, bringing in celebrities. So that's in their DNA. I get it, but I feel like the celebrities take too much of a spotlight now. That wasn't the case. You'd have a celebrity be involved in one match, maybe two, or something like that. But now it's just it's like, hey, all you guys that have been busting your ass all year on and off TV, you got to take a back seat. Logan Paul's here, and that just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I can just imagine how it feels for the wrestlers.
You're busting your ass. You're sorry, you got to give it to Brad Pitt, man.
Yeah, exactly. it's such bullshit.
Give it to Brad Pitt.
It's such bullshit. I can't stand when they do shit like that. It's I don't know. It's one of the most annoying things. But I mean, Rudy, did you see the Monday Night Raw after Mania?
No, I didn't.
Exactly. And this WrestleMania was geared towards people like you. And that's the thing. It's like if people like that who they're trying to win back aren't going to watch the next day, they're not going to go back to watching the product. Why are you putting so much focus for them? And no offense, Rudy. I'm happy you enjoyed the moments that you did, but it's just dude, what about the people who are watching it all the time when it's not a big event? It's kind of just like a fuck you sometimes.
Yeah, it seems like it's more about the numbers than anything else, and that's kind of the awkwardness related to it, right? For example, it's so funny because I'm talking to Jazz, and I'm like, we should go to an event, just an event, because we went to the New Japan event. And I was like, that was just a great experience for what it is, right? And I'd rather go to an event like that. And then the first thing she says, hey, yeah, we'll go to WrestleMania next year because I heard The Rock's coming. And I was just like, that's not, first of all, it's expensive. It's expensive, and I just want to go, I want to see something that's actually, really good wrestling, right?
Well, that's the thing. The show that you guys went to, the New Japan one, was a wrestling show.
Oh,
that was a hardcore wrestling show.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, I think AEW has a home base here, in Jacksonville. So, I wouldn't mind taking the drive out to Jacksonville and actually going to see an AEW thing. But because I've seen the fans when I watch AEW on occasion, they're really into it. When something happens, motherfuckers pop off. It's just crazy. So it's a completely different feeling. I mean, it was funny because I saw a clip. Right, it was a clip on someone's phone of the whole thing that happened with Pat McAfee and his match, and then Vince and everything that happened after that. And it was funny because as you watch it from a fan's perspective on that phone, it is so much less entertaining than it actually was on television. I'm watching and Pat McAfee is just bouncing around the mat as Vince is barely throwing him anywhere. And I'm just oh, this doesn't look as entertaining when you watch it in real life.
Yeah.
It just looks goofy.
Well, don't forget, Michael Cole was screaming at the top of his lungs, standing at his desk the entire match. So that helps. You don't get that when you're sitting in the arena.
Yeah,
but,
that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I told her I was I'd love to go to one, especially after we went to the New Japan one. And I was I'd love to actually go to an event and kind of take her with me, and hopefully no one ever pushes me in the back or fucking drinks right behind me.
Oh,
motherfucker! I was about to throw him over. I was about to throw his ass over. I was so pissed.
Danny, do you know that story? Did Eslam ever mention it? Yeah, you guys, because they both experienced it at the show we went to at MSG. You want to say it for Danny?
Yeah. No, so we go.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I was
either one of you. Either one of you.
No,
never mind.
Nah, so we go to MSG. We go into the New Japan thing. Dan buys me a shirt of Bret Hart. I loved it. And we sit down, and everything's going crazy with the matches. They have their own form of Royal Rumble and shit. And I sit down, and there's just this real lanky, skinny, nerdy kid behind me. He's having the time of his life, but he's done. He's fucking drunk. He's got his buddies next to him. And, how come every time I always get into a story, every time I come on a podcast, I'm always gotta tell a story. So he fucking is drunk. He's skinny as shit, and he just keeps knocking me. Just keeps fucking. I was like,
yeah. I remember that.
He started knocking me.
Yeah,
he was pushing both of you.
Eslam. Yeah, he was pushing Eslam after a while. I was
did?
dead as having.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because Eslam, you legit like, yeah, this guy's been fucking pushing me all night. Because remember, you guys switched seats. You two.
Yeah. I remember we switched seats. I don't remember why.
I was big.
He thought he was in a mosh pit.
You know, like how when people get like drunk, they get like too touchy-feely, friendly, and they think it's cool. Yeah, it's not.
It was cool.
They get on top of you like, yo, hey, bro.
Yeah.
They start
This
leaning on
motherfucker
you.
was, and we were like next to like a railing. He's fucking pushing me and pushing Eslam. Dan's over here, Pyro.
I was cheering hard for Pyro.
I was like, I can't enjoy myself. And then I'm looking back at him, and his friends can kind of tell that I'm getting irritated. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm gonna throw his ass over this railing. Like, I just want to throw his ass
own
over
wrestling
the
match
railing.
back here.
Uncle Phil his ass.
And the funny thing is, like, the vibes of that crowd, I was like, everyone looked at it and just kept on going. I don't even think anybody would have paid any attention.
That's it would have just been, there's a fight, but there's a better match in the ring.
There was that one guy that was yelling stuff out, which was hilarious.
Yeah. Fuck you, Jeff.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh man. Yeah, but that's how good this WrestleMania was. We're talking about New Japan Ring of Honor show from like 3-4 years ago.
Wasn't it? Was it like 2018?
Maybe
or
I
early
don't know.
2019.
I don't remember. It was what are those 2 years? It was WrestleMania 35. So 3 years ago.
Okay.
Right before I left.
So early 2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before COVID. Pre-COVID.
Yeah, before COVID.
Yeah.
Because then COVID, right before COVID, is when we did the Chicago show.
Yep.
Like literally the week before COVID hit the U.S.
It was mid-February, so
It was
COVID was just starting to hit the U.S.
Yeah.
Oh man, it would have been cool if y'all broke into a big fight. LWG gets into a fight.
Yeah.
I'm so mad. I'm still mad. I just want to find him.
Track him down and stun his ass.
Fucking find his ass. But yeah, I think that's like I said. I think that's what sucks about this WrestleMania is that like I have no interest to keep watching wrestling.
Yep.
Correction.
Do you have no interest in watching wrestling or watching WWE?
WWE. Like
Okay.
on occasion when it's a Wednesday and I realize it's a Wednesday,
You'll watch
AEW.
AEW.
AEW's on. Like I have to realize that it's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I'll watch AEW and I'm like, okay. And then Jazz has no interest because she only has interest in Chris Jericho because that's who she knows.
That's the only one she knows.
And, yeah, but at the same time, I'm just watching and I'm just like, this is way more entertaining.
Yeah.
Honestly, wrestling is way more entertaining when Dan tells us about wrestling. Like his commentary and the way he explains it makes it way more interesting.
Yeah.
I enjoy his narrations more. Yeah, exactly.
No, you don't understand. That's what Jazz demands.
That's why we watched WrestleMania together. They wanted my commentary.
Dude, honestly, bro, that should be like our new YouTube channel, like our sister YouTube.
Watch
channel.
wrestling with me.
Yeah,
Watch
pretty
wrestling
much.
with Dan.
Dude, that would be so fucking popular. I'm telling you. Just
Probably
like your
would.
commentary on wrestling shows, it's like a play along.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Watch along, but I got you.
Oh, no, but like, is the video game one called a watch along also?
No, that's a play along because you're playing,
Okay,
or you're
so
watching them play.
like
It's a watch along.
play along.
Yeah, it's called a watch along.
You there?
Look how tired he is.
We
He can't do it.
We understand. Stop picking on the guy.
Why are you messing with me, bro?
Because I can see it. I can see it in you. I have so much fun doing that.
But that's what Jazz does though. Like Saturday we watched WrestleMania without Dan, and Jazz is like, something's missing. I'm like, I'm here. So we called Dan, and then it was commentary the whole time. It was literally like we were on the couch, and my iPad was between us. Our iPad between us. Henry was there.
Henry was there too. It was fun. It was fun.
Nice.
It was nice.
That
And I
was
was
nice.
like,
You had a little
this is
crew.
what I look forward to. And that's the thing. But it makes sense though, because at the same time, Dan kind of helps a lot. Aside from his commentary just being fucking hilarious and just talking shit about the match, like I'm like, yo, this is awesome. Dan's like, it's fucking wrestling. This is supposed to be wrestling. And I'm just like, I'm just having a great time. But it's like he gets to fill in the gaps of who these people are, what the backstory is. Because I'm not really paying attention to. They did like a little, preview of what happened in the beef before everything of these matches. But I'm just like, I'd rather hear it from somebody.
Well, that's the thing.
Exactly what it is. He's like Spark Notes for wrestling. He just like summarizes everything. Gives
but like interesting Spark Notes for wrestling. Like he gives you the stuff that that he knows you're gonna care about, the important stuff, and leaves out all the boring shit.
No.
And then you get interested from hearing that, and you're like, damn, I kind of want to watch wrestling now. And then like once it's over, you get like
once
off
Dan's gone, it's over.
Once he's like once we off the podcast and he's not there anymore, I'm just like I don't care about wrestling anymore.
Yeah, it's sad. I wish I don't know. I wish more people were into it. I mean, it's funny because there's millions and millions of wrestling fans out there. It's just I don't know any of them.
Yeah, you got me.
I know you
watch
guys.
The Dragon wrestle every time you talk about him. Yeah.
Oh, Shingo Takagi. Shingo Takagi. That's the New Japan. You got to see him. Actually, no. Did we see Shingo? We might have seen Shingo. I don't remember. I don't know. No, maybe it wasn't with the NJPW yet.
I saw the American Dragon. That's what it's called, right?
Bryan Danielson. No, you didn't.
Yeah. No, I didn't see him in real life. I saw him on AEW. They call him the American Dragon.
I've seen him too.
Oh, okay.
Is there any lingo related to wrestling that has to do with the word spark?
With spark?
To do with the word what?
Spark?
Yeah, spark.
Like an electric spark?
Probably. Yeah, spark. I think spark plug. I think means like
cars,
energy.
Isn't it?
Oh. Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
It could also be. I mean, curtain jerker doesn't sound like what it is either, but that's a wrestling term too.
Wait, what is it?
Curtain jerker.
Curtain jerker.
No, don't do it.
Curtain jerker. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
we did this one.
yeah, that was a kayfabe corner. That was like one of the first ones. Curtain jerker.
It's when the match is so good, like the wrestlers in the back want to watch.
Holy shit! You actually remember something.
Yeah.
Good job. You get a point.
Just picture somebody beating behind the curtain. It's like, ooh, this is a good
I think
match.
that's what we said.
That's
originally.
definitely what they said. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Spark plug?
I think spark plug is a term. I could be wrong, but spark plug I think would be somebody like smaller that kind of just like think of like a Rey Mysterio, somebody who's like a tiny little person that could just freaking bounce around all over the ring and do shit. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm inventing kayfabe at this point. I don't know.
That's actually a good term, though.
That sounds right, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it's something they would use. Exactly.
Volatile.
I'm just thinking because he says you're like spark notes for wrestling, so I'm like, if you do make something related to it on YouTube, spark something.
Spar notes.
What? Oh, spar notes.
Spar notes. Oh, that actually sounds pretty cool.
Interesting.
Oh, dang! I gotta write that down.
Okay. Is kayfabe corner already taken?
I mean, we do it.
No, but I mean, is it like something that's already done? Because
like somebody else owns it? I don't know.
Yeah, we should look into that.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Rudy, if I told you there's a wrestler named Dick Togo, would you believe me?
I believe anything you tell me.
But yeah, that's really we've been on this for a minute. That's
what about flying buttress.
All right, no, yeah, let's keep going.
I trust you.
I have a dick to go, please.
Oh man,
where we go?
That's the man's name, Dick Togo.
He brought back the crawling buttress. Yeah.
Yeah, crawling buttress.
Yeah.
But I feel like y'all just fucking with me now.
No, this is a whole thing. You should check out the LWG podcast. It's available on all podcast platforms.
Yeah, you should go listen, support, download the episodes.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, review. We also got a YouTube. You can check out our channel. Also the website at lowswiseguys.com. We'll put the link tree in the description. No worries.
We got you.
Do you guys have any more stuff to talk about for the
We hit all the major points, right, Rudy?
The WrestleMania?
No, yeah, I think that was it.
Yo, Bad Bunny wasn't there?
No.
Wow.
I was looking for him.
They had
Bunny,
it would have been entertaining.
If versed Pat McAfee in a tag team match, I would have been so happy.
Who would have been their team?
I don't care.
Edge had a match against AJ Styles, which I thought was going to be much better than it was going to be. I mean, it wasn't a bad match. I just wasn't feeling it. Two great wrestlers.
His face. What happened to his face?
Oh yeah, AJ Styles, as he's walking out the ring, his face is just bleeding, like as he's walking down the ramp. I looked into it, Rudy. What happened was when he was walking out, the WrestleMania logo at the entrance is not the normal one that they normally use, obviously, because it's not always Mania. So when he walked out, you see him straight just bang his face into the thing and then just keeps on going. And then when he takes off his hood, he's straight just bleeding. So he walked like face first into the WrestleMania logo.
Everyone, I thought
it looked like he just got into a fight because he was pissed.
Yes. Everyone looked like he got to a fight. Like, that man looked mad.
Yeah.
He was like breathing hard. I was like, someone fucked him up. Someone hit him. And then I was like, then we found out later. Like that, somebody tore his quad.
Oh, yeah, Rick Boogs.
No, he broke it, Rudy. Yeah.
He was teamed with Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yep. Who they versed though?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
I legit can't remember. That's how much I cared.
You had RK. You had the triple tag team match between RK Bro and some other people.
Yeah. Oh, they fought the Usos. That's what it was in the first match. That was the first match. Shinsuke and Rick Boogs versus the Usos. Pretty unforgettable.
Did the Hardy Boys wrestle?
The Hardy Boys are both in AEW.
Oh.
Yep.
Did
Yeah.
they
Yeah, Danny, if you want to see anything interesting, go watch AEW.
I see.
AEW, NJ, PW. I think I got that right.
No, you got it. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
The home of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Here we go again.
You just confused me with all the letters.
Throwing out letters for no reason.
You just threw an acronym at me. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we're good with the Mania stuff.
Awesome.
So what are you guys' final thoughts on that? Jinx.
Yo, we just on the same level today, bro.
I know, that's twice.
For me, it was overall, it wasn't a bad Mania. Like, I definitely had fun at moments. Like, the highs were high, the lows were low, the mids were mid. Like, it was just a by the numbers wrestling show for WWE. I mean, honestly, I give it a solid 3 out of 7.
3.75.
No, just a 3 out of 7. Whole numbers. 3 out of 7 out of 5.
Like how it's out of 7.
Yeah. 7 days in a week.
That threw me off.
7 days in a week.
Like 3 out of 10. But he's like 3 out of 7.
Yeah. A little bit better than 3 out of 10.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Yeah, technically.
Yep.
Rudy, final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was entertaining for what it was. Gave me that nostalgia feeling. For the most part, my life around wrestling revolves around remembering it on Wednesdays. And anytime Dan hits me up and says, "Yo, some shit's about to go down. You might want to watch this one." And then that's kind of when I watch.
I'm good at predicting shit.
And then I call them because we require commentary.
Yes.
Because I'm just gonna jump into AEW and be like, "All right, so this person hates this person because he smacked his mom or some shit," and then that's where the story takes over. And then that's where I go.
That's a legit storyline. I guarantee that's happened at least 12 times in the history of pro wrestling.
Damn, Mad Mom's getting smacked.
Before
you become a pro wrestler, you just gotta warn your mom real quick. Just like, you might get slapped.
You might get smacked. Mark Henry's just banging on your door one day. You his mom?
Hey, Mrs. Rosado.
What's up, Rudy?
No, I'm saying we should do that though. If you ever say like this is going down, just send out. We're always in the Discord when it comes to that chat type shit. When it comes to that, so anything, just jump on and just see what it's like. Like good old kayfabe corner.
Cool.
You know, right?
Is that your final thought? I don't know what the hell
Heels.
was that.
That shit made me miss Heels real quick.
Heels is a good show.
Yeah,
Heels was fun, man.
You should watch Heels, Rudy.
That's my final thought.
I heard about it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
My final thoughts.
You got this.
Without Dan's... Did you say you got this?
We believe in you.
I was really hoping, because a lot of times I say stupid shit like that and nobody catches it. So I thought it was just going to slip by. I didn't think you were going to hear it.
Oh, God, that one caught me.
I feel like he actually had a final thought and you just...
I might have just ruined it. I might have ruined it.
My final thought is without Dan, I wouldn't even have a second thought about wrestling, and we have these like conversations weekly and stuff, and I do get interested enough to the point where like if Dan hits me up one day and he's like, "Yo, there's a show here, you down to go?" I'm gonna be like, "Hell yeah, I'm down to go." Because I'm gonna have his commentary. Watching certain things live just makes it so much better, and I think wrestling is one of those things. Certain other things, it's like you either got to watch on TV or just like they're just bad. You don't need to watch them. But that's besides the point. But yeah, so if you want to have better wrestling experiences, hit up Dan at LWG_Dan Rosado on Instagram and ask him to provide commentary for a small fee, of course. You know what I'm saying?
You have a better time reaching me on Twitter.
Join his Patreon.
Instagram's just like a trash fire.
Oh, that's right. Or at LWG_Dan Rosado on Twitter. Be like, hey, man, I need your commentary on this. Just, hit him up on Discord, pay him some money, and he'll just sit there and comment about wrestling with you. You know what I mean? We're starting a new business, guys.
Where I just talk about wrestling.
You get paid to talk about wrestling with people in their living rooms. They just get the iPad, they put you right next to them like Rudy did, and you're just talking shit.
Single-handedly revive wrestling, make it cool.
Thank you for listening to Those Wise Guys podcast. Yes.